As a Trolldier, jumps are your lifeblood. They're what get you from starting point to target, how you move across the map, and how you keep the shovel interesting when it starts to feel dull. However, outside of Hightower and the occasional ultra-flashy multi-rocket jump onto their maps, there aren't many full map jump guides, so I'm here to change that. Today, I'll be covering the most important jumps I know for Harvest. There are three main locations on Harvest you want jumps to end at: the enemy spawn, the point, and the enemy shack. This is where people will be at the most, outside of the enemy's roof, which we'll talk about in a second, and every jump I have here ends at one of these three places. Because Harvest is symmetrical, I'll only be doing things related to the red side. Note that aside from some weird geometry, which we'll get to later, all of these will be the same for both teams. That being said, let's start with jumps that lead to spawn. Single rocket jumps shouldn't be self-explanatory, so we'll start with 2 rocket jumps, then move to 3, and finish with multi-rockets. Here are the 2 rocket jumps that lead to spawn. Here are the 3 rocket jumps that lead to spawn. And here are the multi-rocket jumps that lead to spawn. Now, do you remember when I said, aside from some weird geometry earlier? That's because of a few things. Not only are the props slightly different per side, the roofs are as well. Do you see this? Yeah, those missing panels on red side and extra pieces of steel on blue, those actually have geometry. So whenever you jump, you have to be mindful of these so as to not catch yourself on them. Putting that aside, we'll move on. Here are the 2 rocket jumps that lead to the point. Here are the 3 rocket jumps that lead to the point. And And here is the single multi-rocket jump I found that leads to the point. One other thing that I mentioned before we move on to the shack jumps regarding the enemies on the roof. Most jumps will end there anyways, so I didn't feel it necessary to make jumps for it. Things like speed shot variants and faster slides will help you with extra distance to cover the whole roof. That being said, let's talk about the last destination. Here are the 2 rocket jumps that lead to the shack. Here are the 3 rocket jumps that lead to the shack. And here are the multi-rocket jumps that lead to the shack. There you have it. Those are all of the jumps that I've deemed important to learn when playing Trolldier on Harvest. Obviously there's more, but traversing the map with these jumps in your back pocket makes it a million times easier and more fluid. Also, I know how it feels to come up with a jump that you think is unique, just to find out that somebody already did it, so I'm only going to show the basic ones in this series and let people expand upon them if they want to. Thanks for watching to the end, or skipping around, I don't judge. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, sub to the Patreon, buy the Dubby, do all that sellout shit. Bye.